I'd like you to imagine a situation. Imagine this. You are enjoying a meal with your partner, and one of you turns to the other and says, "You know what? I've noticed I put on some weight lately. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't like the way it makes me look. I want to be healthier. I want us to be healthier."
That's a really smart thing to say, isn't it? Moreover, it's a message that we're getting from all sides. Newspaper reports, research studies, our doctors, even the White House is getting into the act with Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign. From every direction, we're getting the message that it'd be a very good thing for us all to take better care of our health, to eat right, and to move more.
It's the right message, of course, but it's not like we're confused or uncertain about how to take care of ourselves. We all know how to take care of ourselves. By now, every headline, every research study makes more or less the same point. If we're going to be healthy and fit, we have to eat right, we have to move more. That's the formula. It's pretty simple. The science behind it is rock solid, and it's guaranteed to work for us.
So what's the issue? The issue isn't figuring out what to do. If we know more or less what to do to be the healthier people we want to be, then the challenge for us all is figuring out how to make those healthy behaviors we know about actually become a part of our lives each and every day.
By now, many of us have discovered that it's hard to be healthy. And let's face it, the world we live in doesn't make it any easier. We might have long commutes, we might have demanding jobs, we might be raising kids, taking care of an aging parent. We may not have the time and the energy we need to take care of ourselves. And we're surrounded by foods that are easily accessible, pretty inexpensive, but maybe not so healthy for us.
Of course, there are reasonable solutions to all of these problems. There's diet plans, there's prepared foods, there's exercise programs and gym memberships. For some of us, there's even surgery. And what all these solutions have in common is that they're directed towards us as individuals. They all kind of assume that if we want to make a change in our health, it's up to us independently of anyone else. But that's not always true. A lot of times, the health choices that we make are affected by the people around us. There might be somebody else in our lives, usually an intimate partner, who has a stake in the choices we make around our health. There's someone there who might be threatened if we want to change our appearance, who might be critical when we're trying to do something that's difficult for us, who might be resistant to paying for special foods, organic produce, or a gym membership, or who might just be insistent on their right to bake delicious desserts each and every weekend.
You can see that all of the usual solutions that we typically hear about, virtually all of them, miss a crucial point. We can't separate our health from our relationships. We live social lives, and our health is a part of that life. We share a kitchen with somebody, we share a pantry with somebody, we eat meals with other people, we encourage or discourage one another from going to see a doctor. We have to schedule our exercise around our partner's exercise schedule. We all know that our health is part of our bodies. It's inside our bodies. But all of the habits that affect our health, all of the decisions that we're making that affect our health, those are a big part of our relationships.
So when you're sitting with your partner and you say, "You know what, I'm thinking I'd like to get healthier, I'd like to make a change," it couldn't be a smarter thing to do because you're talking to exactly the right person. There's nobody else who's more invested in your health aside from yourself. There's no one else who's in a better position to support you in making those health-related choices. There's no one else who's actually there in the very moments where you're making those decisions about your health.
Now, you're telling your partner, or maybe your partner's telling you, that it's time to get moving. It's time to solve this problem. This next part of your conversation, that turns out to be pretty crucial. You and your partner care for each other, you love each other, you support each other in all kinds of ways. Of course you want to help each other. And you're motivated to help each other too, because this is your health you're talking about, and it's not going to get better by itself.
So what can we do? What can any of us do in that moment to give our partners the support they're going to need to make these difficult choices? What does effective support around health look like? And if we're the one that wants to make the change, how can we reach out to our partners and get from them the help we're going to need to move more and eat better and live healthier lives?
A lot of people would say that honesty is the right policy in relationships, right? That's the way you communicate important things to your partner in a relationship. So let's say I'm the person who says, I'd like to lose a few pounds. I need to get exercising more. I need to start taking better care of myself. Maybe you could start with a little honesty.
Yeah, you have gained a few pounds. I've noticed that too.
Well, that sounds like the right thing to say, right? But it doesn't really have a supportive effect. It actually ends up sounding like criticism instead. Maybe you have to say something nicer to me, something a little more affirming or upbeat. Maybe I need some reassurance.
Honey, what are you talking about? You look beautiful. You look beautiful to me. There is no problem.
It's nice to hear, right? Really nice to hear, but it totally ignores my issue, and it's certainly not going to motivate me to do anything. So I may need something tougher. I may need a tough love approach. I need you to crack the whip. That's what I need.
Okay, you're serious? Fine. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., we're going to go for a 2-mile run. Tonight, I'm going to go to our cupboards and throw out all the carbs into the freezer, throw out the ice cream. From here on in, it's going to be low-fat diets and kale salad until we get this problem licked.
Now that could work, right? That is the kick in the seat of the pants that I would need to start doing the right things to take care of myself. But it sounds pretty harsh. It'd be hard to sustain. And even if I could sustain it, I might not like my partner at the end of it.
So let me ask you, raise your hand if in your own relationships, in your own homes, when you've tried to talk about health issues, you've heard any of these kind of statements in your own home. A fair number of you. Now let me ask you a second question. Leave your hand up if you've heard those statements coming from your own mouth. I mean, ouch.
The good news is you're not alone. In our research, we've seen countless couples say exactly those words and worse. And we've seen that look of panic when partners want to help each other and realize they're not quite sure how to respond. And along the way in our research, we discovered something that really surprised us. Knowing how to help someone we love to become healthier, that doesn't come so naturally. The best way for two people in a relationship to support each other is not so obvious, especially when we're talking about something as personal as our health and as sensitive as our weight and our appearance.